The defending champions of the SEC and the national championship, the Gamecocks, needed a bit of luck on their side this season, with the first two tiebreakers also resulting in a tie between the Gamecocks and the Longhorns. The SEC was ultimately left with a coin flip. Herb Vincent, the Associate Commissioner of Communications for the Southeastern Conference, said that they had to follow the commissioner's set regulations.
These are reviewed occasionally with the coaches and with the athletics directors, and could be amended, in the off season. But once the season begins, we have to follow the commissioner's regulations. So we couldn't consider anything else once we got into the season.
Vincent, along with much of the public, could not remember the last time a seeding was left up to the third tiebreaker. The first two tiebreakers being head-to-head, which the two teams tied their series 1-1, and the second tiebreaker comparing the results to the following best teams in the SEC, which both teams went undefeated against.
We haven't used a coin toss in a long time. None of us recalled having a coin toss before to break a tie for a seeding.
Head coach Don Staley was also surprised that their season was left up to a coin toss.
I know when you're part of, the equation, it doesn't feel good to have your fate in a coin toss. And I didn't know that 8 other sports use a coin flip. That was news to me. I feel a little better about it now.
The Gamecocks had luck on their side, being victorious in the toss and claiming the #1 spot in seeding for the tournament. Welcome back to Carolina News. Time for sports. The spring game is upon us. The Garnet vs. Black showdown takes place tonight at 7:30 p.m. Some big names are on the ticket for tonight's game. Quarterback transfer Aaron Noland, running back Razul Faison, and cornerback Brandon Cisse will see snaps for the first time as Gamecocks. Taking a look at the much-anticipated 2025 incoming freshman class, multiple 4-star recruits will debut today. Wide receiver Malik Clark, wide receiver Donovan Murph, wide receiver Lex Cyrus, and defensive back Tamaron Watkins, and offensive lineman Desmond Green. Gamecock fans will also welcome Jaden Sellers to William Bryce. Yes, that's right, Nora Sellers' little brother is now a Gamecock. Gates will open tonight at 6 p.m. and admission is free for all fans. College football has added some highly anticipated new rules for the 2025-2026 season. Faking injuries is the most discussed rule being added to the list, to something Shane Beamer felt hurt the Gamecocks in their game against Ole Miss this past season.
But it's fascinating to me how many injuries occur for them after the opposing offense makes a first down.
Some of the new rules include charging a team a timeout if a medical staff member has to enter the field for an injured player after the ball is spotted for the next play. The team with the injured player could also face a 5-yard delay of game penalty if the team is out of timeouts. Turning it over to the Diamond, baseball looks to win their first SEC series of the year tonight after winning one last night at Founders Park. Brandon Stone was the star of the matchup, pitching for the entire game. Stone secured a 3-2 victory after a double play in the top of the 9th. Other big hitters last night for the Gamecocks was Nathan Hall. After hitting a double and carry-on's ground out, Hall got on the board first for the Gamecocks. Holland scored in the bottom of the 5th after Braylon's hit landed between the 2nd and 3rd base. And Scobie wrapped the scoring for the Gamecocks after sliding into home base at the bottom of the 5th after Hall's hit snuck between 2nd and 3rd basemen. Throwing it over to softball, they play Kentucky this weekend and they will start their 3-game series tonight at the Carolina softball field in Columbia. The game will start at 3 p.m. and the second game will play Sunday at 6 p.m. and the series will wrap up Monday at 7 p.m. And to wrap up sports today, let's take a look inside the ring at WrestleMania. This weekend, some South Carolina superstars have matchups on the grandest stage of them all. Bianca Belair, a former South Carolina track and field star, has a triple threat women's championship match against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. Trick Williams, a former Gamecock football player and Columbia native, also has a triple threat championship match against Oba Femi and Javon Evans. That's all we have for sports. Back to you guys over at the desk. Right behind me, Stone Stadium. It's under construction for the men and women's soccer 2025 fall season. Let's take an aerial view and see what's going on up top. Stone Stadium began construction about a week ago, and the stadium looks a bit different. Contractor David Pitts was out on the demolished field today and had an agenda of what was coming to Stone Stadium.
And we are removing the organic layer, about 6 inches of material across the field, pushing it to the corner over there, hauling it out with trucks, and we're going to resurface and resod the entire soccer field.
But Pitts and Environmental Contracting did not have much time to prepare for this big project.
It was very short notice. We got about 1 day's notice, so we had to really move some stuff around and got everything lined up. We always like to work here.
On the other hand, men's soccer player Gabriel Adkisson says they knew for about a week that the field was getting a makeover.
It was about last week that our coach told us that they're going to renew the grass. They're going to put more technology on it.
Adkisson says he's excited for the upgrade and believes it will be better for the safety of players.
So I think renewing it, the field gets stronger, so there's more grass, there's less chance of injuries, and less holes, so you don't step it wrong and then twist your ankle, for example.
Pitt said they are planning to put the new grass in next week, making Stone Stadium look brand new. For Carolina News and Reporter, I'm Stephanie Adkisson. Thanks, and welcome to sports. Women's basketball takes on Vanderbilt after having a double bye in the SEC tournament. Vanderbilt knocked off Tennessee just last night to move up and play the Gamecocks. Looking over to Gamecock softball, they had to rank number 2 Oklahoma to start off conference play as they look to remain undefeated in the season. Baseball hosts Morehead State this weekend with all 3 games over at Founders Park. Now taking a look at men's basketball, they head to number 4 ranked Tennessee for their last regular game of the season. That's all for sports. I'm Stephanie Adkisson. Over to Lauren with more on the Special Olympics Club at USC. Baseball starts their series against Morehead State tonight with all 3 games being played at Founders Park. The series starts tonight at 7 p.m. Saturday's game will be at 4 p.m. and they wrap up Sunday at 1:30 p.m. Currently, the Gamecocks record stands at 11-3 with all 3 of those losses being to Clemson. Morehead stands at 6-5 on the season. Turning it over to softball, they head to Oklahoma this weekend in hopes to keep their record-breaking season alive. If they win tonight, it will go down as the best start to a season in program history. The Sooners are currently ranked number 1 in the country. Their season record is currently 19-0. The Gamecocks currently stand at 20-0 and are currently ranked number 10 in the state. The series kicks off tonight at 7:30 p.m. They play tomorrow at 3 o'clock and close the series Sunday at 2:30. Taking a look at men's basketball, the team will travel to Knoxville to play number 4 Tennessee in their last regular season game. With a Tennessee win tonight and an Alabama loss to Auburn, the Volunteers could move up in rankings and claim the 3rd spot in the SEC. Even with a win tonight, the Gamecocks have secured the bottom seed in the SEC tournament. The Gamecocks sit at 12-18, while the Volunteers stand at 24-6. That's all we have for sports. Back over to the desk.